1,000 locations across Canada. Home hardware is locally owned, genuinely Canadian. Here's a look at Kevin Gausman, still searching for his first victory of the year. He'll try and get it today on Sportsnet 1 against the Arizona Diamondbacks.
There he goes. Swing and a miss. Throw down, the tag, got him! Strike him out, throw him out, double play.
Uses that good strong arm, guns him down.
Through the left side, a base hit.
Cosmo Komodo delivers in the ninth.
Guerrero lines it, deep left field.
And Vladimir Guerrero Jr. gives the Blue Jays a 7-6 lead.
And now Straw lines it into the left field corner.
It's a two-run double for Miles Straw.
We talk about all the time being ready in situations, and, you know, the boys are always ready to roll.
What a play by Guerrero.
What a play by Guerrero. And Vladdy takes extra bases away. Fully stretched out to his right.
Popped up, shallow right field. Guerrero going back. Vladdy slides for an over-the-shoulder catch. There are not many first basemen in the majors who come even close to making that play.
Down to Guerrero, a wicked hop. He dives to the back.
The runner is out.
This almost took Vladdy's head up.
Perdomo round first, headed for second. The throw from Lucas bounces in, and they got him.
And he's out. Nathan Lucas throws him out from right field.
Perfect throw into second base. Shallow right center. Ernie Clement out there, bobbles, and he caught it on the bare hand.
Can of corn, says Ernie, never in doubt.
Here's the lineup for the Blue Jays today in the final game of this series. And as Arden and Shai discussed, there is no, well, there's nobody right now. Okay, now there are players.
There we go.
No Dalton Varsho, but Nathan Lucas gets back to the leadoff spot after a 3-for-5 performance yesterday. And perhaps he will help push this offense beyond what we have been seeing. And Jason, what we have been seeing is not much of anything. 2 runs scored in yesterday's ball game. Go back to that series in Milwaukee, a single run in each of those losses. What seems to be the problem with this team from a hitting perspective these days?
Again, I just feel like it's a flow. I mean, we could sit there and break down every component, every aspect, you know, the different divisions of a team, right? You got your bullpen struggling, a couple pieces there. You got some of your lineup that's not getting the job done. When you're putting up 2 runs, pitchers can get tentative just from that, knowing that they can't give up something. So there's this seesaw battle going on. It's the ebb and flow of the entire team. Got to come together, guys. You know, it's just one of those things that everybody's got to get more convicted. I think they know how to do this. We're off to that bad stretch. I get it, but we got to score more than 2.
You saw the home run breakdown there. They have 7 home runs this year with men on base, and each one of those is just a 2-run shot. Still awaiting a 3-run shot, still awaiting a grand slam from somebody. Somebody on this team needs to get a big, big hit. So it's Game 3 of this series at Chase Field in Arizona, and we will reflect on 50 years of Blue Jays baseball when Blue Jays Central continues.
wild with nature.
Hit a grand slam with your next project and head to your local Home Hardware with over 1,000 locations across Canada. Home Hardware is locally owned, genuinely Canadian. Speaking of being Canadian, the Montreal Canadiens are playing Game 1 tonight against the Tampa Bay Lightning. It comes your way at 5:30 Eastern, 2:30 Pacific, and lo and the playoffs. They'll be on tap tonight as well.
So, George, how did we get here?
Touchable, James. She's gone.
I'm not in the mood to talk.
The city was getting some pride. The country was getting some pride. 50 years later, we're still at it.
Today on Blue Jay Central, we focus on three men known as the Killer Bees: Lloyd Moseby, Jesse Barfield, and George Bell. Their collective swagger made for some friendly chaos, as detailed in another chapter of The Blue Jays Way, delivered by Skip.
The killer bees, in their natural habitat, are known for their extreme defensiveness, attacking in large numbers and chasing opponents away. Feed them a fastball, and they'll sting you by going yard.
They used to call it the killer bees. The killer bees, I don't know why they used to call it the killer bees, because Lloyd Moseby, Barfield SB, and Bell SB. I don't know how Lloyd came in there, the killer bees.
They did the most bee.
Oh, the most bee?
Moseby was the second pick in the 78 draft.
And Lloyd had speed, he had power, he hit for average.
We end up drafting Barfield.
When they called me that day, I mean, I didn't even know what a Blue Jay was.
Jesse's arm was accurate.
Best arm I've ever seen.
George Bell, we got him in a kind of a roundabout way.
Philly, they don't got me protected, and that's when the Blue Jay got me in Rule 5.
Pat was a genius. Had misplaced.
I was not fancy in the outfield, but I was fancy with my bat.
They bring in Lloyd and his mother. We got welcome Lloyd Moseby, okay? Mother's sitting in the dugout, gonna take batting practice. First pitch, Lloyd swings, not within a foot.
I think the first 6 or 7 swings, I missed, never even hit a ball. Can't even touch a ball. I was so damn nervous.
You don't even foul it off?
My mom had never seen me play. When she seen those first 6 swings, she went, what the hell? Why'd you guys drop my son?
We have the new players, the Mosebys, the Barfields that are coming up, look like they're going to be fine major league players. And it's going to take a while for them to get accustomed to the pitching, to realize how good they are.
Cracks it to left field. He did. High. Home run.
We sent Manic to see a guy by the name of Bill Gullickson, and Bill basically was the #1 choice by the Expos.
So we had a game against him, and first time up, he throws me a fastball away, boom. So the Blue Jays told me then, if you can catch up to Bill Gullickson's fastball, you can hit major league pitching, and that's what worked out for me.
George Bell's going to be real good. Moseby.
Jesse Barfield!
Jesse was a very, very cerebral guy.
Lloyd is cha-cha-cha-cha all the time with the old ladies.
Georgie was feisty. George would speak his mind.
You think that came out of my face? This guy right here, he's selling. I'm telling you, man. And you know this, man. He's gonna sue you guys.
He's got this bark like a Saint Bernard. And meanwhile, he's a Chihuahua.
All this stuff is an act. He's one of the nicest guys you ever been around.
I was the wild one. I was the cuckoo one. I was different.
Yes, you were, George. Yes, you were. The Blue Jays Way, delivered by Skip, the official on-demand delivery partner of the Toronto Blue Jays. When this game is over today, the Blue Jays will fly to Anaheim and begin a 3-game series tomorrow night on Sportsnet 1 with the Angels. Time now for the big board presented by Bet365. Here's JP Morosi.
Jamie, thank you very much. When the Blue Jays encounter the Angels on Monday, they'll see a much improved ball club under first-year manager Kurt Suzuki. One of the biggest reasons why? Mike Trout is back in center field and producing like an all-star yet again. Maybe not all the way back to his MVP form of years past, but a lot closer to it than we've seen from Trout, especially in the health department. His ability to be out there almost every day has changed this Angels team, and he has some help. Shortstop Zach Neto reminds me a bit of a young Bo Bichette. All kinds of plate appearances, runs, hits. He's compiling some impressive offensive numbers, and he plays an excellent defensive shortstop as well. On Neto's right is Oswald Peraza, who last year arrived in a quiet trade deadline move from the New York Yankees and has made a huge impact for the Angels on both sides of the ball. And let's not forget, Jose Soriano has been, quite simply, the best starting pitcher in Major League Baseball so far this season. Now, looking at the former team of Peraza, the New York Yankees. Some very good news there for them with the first AA minor league rehab start of Garrett Cole. It went very well for him on Friday night. Aaron Boone saying several more rehab starts are expected, and yet, Jamie, there is certainly a path for Cole to return before the end of May, and that is also true for left-hander Carlos Rodon. Consider that. The Yankees off to a solid start, and they're about to get even better.
That is the big board presented by Bet365, home of the 5-run early payout. Download the app today. And today there is a game in Pittsburgh. This is Brian Reynolds, ground ball to the left side, infield in. That cashes 2 for the Pirates.
Some electricity in the bird.
Yes, indeed. Here's Spencer Horwitz with his second knock of the year, one that actually leaves the ballpark. So number 2 hits number 2, and the Pirates have a 6-2 lead on the Rays in the bottom of the 8th. Let's take you to Cleveland. Did you ever face Jose Ramirez?
Yes, I did.
You did?
He took me deep, too.
Oh, did he?
Yes.
So you're in his book.
I'm in his book.
Well, here he is, still playing, hitting number 5 on the year for Cleveland against Baltimore. And here he is with, get this, his 28th multi-home run game.
He's got a lot of pop for a little guy.
Yes, indeed. 6-4 Cleveland right now on a sunny day down there, top of the 8th inning. We're off to Chase Field in Arizona as Kevin Gausman's going to get the nod today. The Blue Jays hoping to get out of town with a victory. We're grateful for your viewership. Thanks for watching Blue Jays Central here on Sportsnet 1.
RBC presents Imagine Dragons, opening night at RBC Amphitheater. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com. place.
Stream it on City TV Plus.
Game 1, today on Sportsnet. The following is a Sportsnet presentation in association with the Toronto Blue Jays.
It is on to the ninth here on opening night. The Blue Jays up by a run with Jeff Hoffman on his way into the ballgame. Fastball hit to center and deep. Varsho back, and it's gone. Through the left side for a base hit. That will get a run home and put the tying run aboard. And it's hit into left, a base hit. And the Brewers have tied it here in the bottom of the ninth. 3-1. Fastball hit in the air, deep left field. Grand slam. And the tough times continue.
There are just no levers that you can pull as a manager or a pitching coach when your closer is struggling the way Jeff is right now.
Call it a stunning turn of events. On November 1st, the Blue Jays were in the 7th game of the World Series. As of now, they've fashioned an April record of 3 victories and 12 losses. Off to Arizona we go. Dan Schulman and Joe Siddall have today's ballgame. Gentlemen.
Jamie, the Blue Jays take a 4-game losing streak into the final game of this series, trying to find a way to win a ball game. And obviously, Joe, it begins with trying to score more runs. The numbers are not good at all for the Blue Jays, and especially over the last 15 games, near the bottom in every significant offensive category. How can they change this?
We continue to see a pattern from opposing pitchers in the way that they are throwing to Blue Jays hitters. And this is a team that's not afraid to strike out. They're not going to strike out a whole lot. They'll put a lot of balls in play. They have to do more damage early in the count. Opposing pitchers are expanding the zone on them. They're chasing more than they have in the past. That's not good, but you have to be thinking about damage on strikes in the zone early in the count.
Of course, missing a lot of key hitters to injury, but as John Schneider says, nobody is feeling sorry for them because they don't have all their players. One guy they do have, and they like having, is Kevin Gausman on the mound today.
Well, he's the right guy to have on the mound if you're trying to win a ball game. It's been an excellent start to the season for Gausman. If he's not dominating his opponents with that fastball splitter combination, as we saw in his first 2 starts this season, he's battling his tail off to give his team a chance to win and stay in the ball game. That's what he had to do in the last 2. Dodgers tough lineup, the Brewers a tough lineup, but he kept his team in the ball game. Bottom line, Dan, is it comes back to this offense, scoring more runs to take the pressure off the pitching.
A hard-throwing right-hander, Ryan Nelson, who can reach 97 consistently with his fastball, is on the mound tonight for the Diamondbacks. Jamie, again, as the Blue Jays try to find a way to win one before they head to Anaheim.
And Dan, as you know, the chatter among supporters is focused essentially on the performance yesterday of Jeff Hoffman coming into the 8th inning in a non-save situation. He gave up 4 runs as the Diamondbacks won the ball game. Take a look among closers at first pitch strike percentage. That is getting ahead of the hitter with strike 1. The best in the game are up in the 75%-ish neighborhood. Hoffman at this point, Jason Grilli, sits at 55.3. What does that tell you?
It shows it's indicative of where he's at and why he's struggling. I think that you got to find out why that conviction is not there. Strike 1 is the best pitch in baseball. You got to get there. You got to make it happen. But that just tells me mentally, you got to get a little bit more of I'm on offense and not be on defense. And that's what I kind of see by those numbers.
He addressed the role of being a closer as the heaviness of the role. You've been one. What does it mean?
Yeah, it's a pressure-packed role. You know, big expectations. But in there, you don't have to be perfect. Let's face it. You got 3 bases before that one scores. The most important one is home plate. You got to use it. Find a puzzle. If you give up a hit, you walk a guy, you hit a guy, great. But do it aggressively, you know. And then I say, when we're watching his pitches, he's not getting ahead and getting out with balls. You know, there's a different way and a mentality like I'm talking about is that you get ahead with strikes, but you got to get out with balls. It's all about being on offense instead of saying, I got to be defensive because I'm on defense, quote unquote. You know what I mean?
Speaking of offense, the Blue Jays have not done much of anything offensively lately, averaging 3.65 runs per game through 20. You note the record from last year versus this year, and the runs allowed per game has bloomed to almost 2 more than a year ago. So something needs to change, and quickly. Let's see if Ernie Clement and the fellas can do that today. At Chase Field in Arizona, we have the first pitch coming your way on Sportsnet 1 right after this.
Welcome to Rogers Blue Jays baseball here on Sportsnet. Happy Sunday, everybody. Hope you and yours are well. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. The roof is closed here today at Chase Field, with this being a day game. Hot enough already, even in April, that they will keep the lid on. The Blue Jays losing the first 2 games of this series by scores of 6-3, 6-2. And again, trying to snap a 4-game losing streak here this afternoon. A look at the lineup for John Schneider today, and it's exactly the same, except Valenzuela's hitting 9th instead of Heineman. Nathan Lucas with a 3-hit game yesterday. He wasn't kidding us before the game when he said, I'm starting to feel better. After being diagnosed with vertigo, had a 3-hit game. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. extended his hitting streak to 9 games yesterday. but they need more offense. In this 4-game losing streak, they have scored a total of 7 runs. They'll face a guy who was tough on them a year ago in Ryan Nelson.
The approach has to be better. The execution has to be better, and they're going to try to do it against the 28-year-old right-hander. He's in his 5th year with the Diamondbacks. He's been mostly a starting pitcher in his career here in the desert. 1-1 this year. That ERA just over 3.5. He pitched into the 6th inning in his last start at Baltimore, allowing just 1 earned run. Back-to-back starts now where he's allowed just 1 earned run. The 4-seam fastball at the top of the zone. We're going to see it lots from Nelson. Defensively behind him for the D-backs this afternoon, former Blue Jay Lourdes Gurriel Jr. back in left field for his 2nd game in his return from injury. Thomas in center, Corbin Carroll, the hero from last night with a grand slam in right. Arenado and Jose Fernandez gets the start at shortstop. He's been at first base. Marte and Vargas on the right side, and the veteran James McCann behind the plate.
So no Geraldo Perdomo for the Diamondbacks, and as rough as it has been lately for the Blue Jays is as well as things have gone lately for the Diamondbacks. They were swept by the Dodgers to begin the season, and they are 13-5 since. Roberto Ortiz is the home plate umpire, and this ball game is underway with a fastball that comes in low, ball 1. Lucas with 3 hits yesterday, as we mentioned, and with a base hit in his only at bat the night before. He's actually 4 for his last 6. And another good swing and another base hit for Lucas. Welcome back, Nathan Lucas.
That's exactly what we're talking about in the open in terms of hitters executing. Get a good pitch that has a lot of plate that you're looking for early in the count and try to hammer it. And that's exactly what Nathan did again here this afternoon.
A leadoff base hit here this afternoon, and that'll bring up today's number 2 hitter again. 2nd game in a row. Ernie Clement is in the 2 spot. Dalton Varsho out of the lineup again today. But it feels like he could be back in there tomorrow night, and maybe even available in an emergency today. Spoke with Varsho briefly today, and it's coming along. It is not too serious, so hopefully Varsho is in the lineup tomorrow night in Anaheim. Until then, Ernie Clement mans the 2 spot, and Ernie lines one to left center field, and it's down for a base hit. It'll skip past Thomas. Lucas on his way to 3rd, and Clement is into 2nd.
Ernie Clement has not seen a fastball he does not like, and he has just turned into a doubles hitting machine, drilling this ball into the left center gap. Nathan Lucas getting a good read on this baseball, and after Thomas, a very good center fielder, cannot come up with it, Nathan takes the extra 90 feet.
So the Blue Jays off to a very promising start here in the top of the 1st. They've been okay at getting them on. They've been pretty good at getting them over. It's the getting them in part that has really been a problem for this team. Everybody who watches regularly knows that. Here's Guerrero, and the Diamondbacks will play the infield back this early in the game. They will concede a run on a ground ball. Vladdy swings hard at a high fastball, and it's 0-1.
Blue Jays hitters should see a lot of that. The fastball at the top of the zone, and then the slider is his big secondary pitch. It's been an excellent pitch for Nelson this season.
He throws his fastball 62% of the time. 2nd among all starting pitchers. There's another one. Only Jacob Mizorowski, who the Blue Jays just saw among starting pitchers, throws his fastball more often than Ryan Nelson.
And Vladdy's a little tardy on that fastball right there, so he gets ahead of Vladdy 0-1. Whether he's still sitting on the heater or not, you can't be late when a pitcher leaves that fastball in a good spot.
That one comes in low, ball 1. Again, the fastball, 98. A single for Lucas, a double for Clement. This is hit softly to right, and it's dropping for a base hit. Here comes Lucas. Here comes Clement. And the Blue Jays have an early 2-0 lead.
Well, nobody said you had to hit it hard. Nobody said you had to hit it far. You just got to hit them where they're not playing. And Vladdy, again, beat on this fastball. Looked like he had that approach the whole at-bat. This ball gets very deep on him. It gets jammed. You see him yelling right there. But he will take it, cashing in both runs.
And a bit of a milestone for Vladdy. The first of those 2 runs driven in, RBI number 600 in his career. Here is Jesus Sanchez. And he's got a base hit. Lines it between third and short. Up to second goes Guerrero. Well, with what Guerrero just did, we can update it now. Over 600 RBIs, 9th on the all-time Blue Jays list, and with a good season this year, maybe a chance to move all the way up to 6 here this season.
Some big names in franchise history on that board, and Vladdy is going to just continue to climb as he's committed to this organization for a long time.
And a meeting on the mound early in this one. 4 Blue Jays have come to the plate. They all have come up with a hit. 3 singles and a double. And it is 2-0 already, and that's got Torey Lovullo scratching his head a little bit in the Diamondbacks dugout.
Well, you're facing a pitcher that throws a lot of fastballs. So what do you think the Blue Jays hitters did coming into this game? Look for the fastball. Sanchez teeing off on that one as well into left center.
Number 74, now Eloy Jimenez getting his 2nd straight start at the DH spot, and in the 5th spot in the order. Jimenez went 2 for 4 yesterday with a couple of singles. And he starts it with a slider in for his strike, 0-1.
I'm sure that's what the mound visit was all about, saying, hey, you can throw your fastball a lot early if it's working, but when hitters are teeing off, you've got to go to plan B and call an audible, and this is the perfect hitter. We saw them attack Eloy with a lot of breaking balls down last night.
Grounded up the middle. It's another base hit. Guerrero is getting the wave. The throw from Thomas is cut, and it is 3-0.
Well, this is what they needed. Get off to a good start. A big inning early. You talked about the struggles with runners in scoring position. Not so this afternoon, and what a difference it makes. Nelson went back to the slider, but he didn't get it down, and Eloy pounded it right back up the middle.
Carlos Fabulous waving Vladdy home. 3 runs ties the biggest first inning the Blue Jays have had this year. And all of this has come on only 11 pitches from Ryan Nelson. Here's Andres Jimenez. That is just foul up the first baseline. Jimenez hitting in the 6th spot again. Went 0 for 4 yesterday, but still off to a nice start this year. 274, 3 homers. John Schneider has to be loving this, but it's really early, and the more they can get, the better right now. 3 runs on 5 hits to start the ball game. Jimenez tried to check it, and he did. It's 1-1.
I'm sure their starting pitcher is feeling good about this. Mr. Gausman waiting to come out from the dugout.
Because Gausman has not gotten much run support at all from the Blue Jays in his starts so far this year. We'll tell you more about that when he's on the mound. 1-2 on Jimenez.
We've seen the Diamondbacks attack him a lot with the fastballs up and in and that off-speed stuff down. He can handle that breaking ball that he fouled off there early in this at-bat down in the zone. We've seen them elevate and come in with the hard stuff.
Sanchez at second, Jimenez at first. Eloy Jimenez, that is. Andres Jimenez at the plate. And again a check swing, and again an appeal, and again he didn't go. It's 2-2. Nelson faced the Blue Jays once last year. That was at the Rogers Center. He went 5 2/3, gave up just 1 run on 1 hit. It was a home run by Alejandro Kirk. And as you mentioned, he is coming into this game off now back-to-back really good outings.
Yeah, he had given up 6 runs in his first 2 starts combined, but just 1 earned run in each of his last 2.
2-2. And Jimenez has a base hit. Sanchez has to hustle to third, and he's in there safely. He had to make sure that ball got by the third baseman, Arenado, and it did. Another hit, and the bases are loaded.
Well, we know that this is a contact-oriented team, but we also talked about doing some damage, getting good pitch early in the count. It's not a team that seems to be afraid to get to 2 strikes. They don't strike out a lot, and Jimenez is as good as they've been with 2 strikes. Good approach.
So now the bases are loaded, and this is another area where the Blue Jays would really like to reverse the trend. They are just 1 for 20 this year with the bases loaded. That was a Jesus Sanchez 2-run single back on March 31st. Kazuma Okamoto had a couple of hits last night. Swings through a fastball, 1-1.
Now that's a good swing right there. He got a 1-0 fastball, looked like in a pretty good zone. It was up a bit, but a good spot. And he came up empty though. So that to me now is right decision, but mechanically you got to figure out what's wrong there, not getting to that pitch.
He gets to this one. It's driven to deep left field, and it's off the wall on a bounce. Here comes Sanchez. Here comes Eloy Jimenez. And it's a 2-run double for Kaz Okamoto, and it's a big, big inning for the Blue Jays.
Right on time for that fastball. This went down a bit right in the middle of the plate, and Okamoto did not miss it this time. That has to feel good to contribute. You see where that pitch is compared to the first one. Down a little, warm middle in, and he's covering it easily.
7 straight hits to begin the ball game. Number 8 hitter is Miles Straw, getting another start in center. Straw went 1 for 3 with a sacrifice last night, 2 for 3 with a home run the night before. Takes it just off the corner. It looked like Nelson might have been saying to his catcher, I want you to challenge that, or maybe it was kind of an inadvertent motion on his part. No challenge. It's 2-0. You can understand why Nelson wants anything to go in his favor the way things have started here today. Infield back. And that is high, and it is 3-0. The Blue Jays beginning a game with 7 consecutive hits. They have tied a franchise record set in 2007. Ball 4, and the bases are loaded again. I mean, you talk about a team that couldn't have been struggling more offensively for a pretty long period of time, and now all of a sudden they have come out swinging. And I think maybe, you know, now that Lucas appears on track, it's Okamoto that the guys are happiest for after seeing what he did.
These guys are all buddies. They're in the batting cage every day together. They know when times are good and when they are struggling. And for Okamoto, there have been some struggles despite those couple hits last night. That is a big swing for the Blue Jays third baseman.
Activity already in the Arizona bullpen. Right-hander Andrew Hoffman is getting up. I mean, in one sense it's already, but in another sense it's not. Right? 5 runs in. And here's Brandon Valenzuela trying to keep the line moving. As he fouls it back, it's 1-1. How often does a number 9 hitter come to the plate in the first inning with nobody out?
I can promise you he had all of his gear on when this inning started.
But if you're the Blue Jays, you got to be greedy here. You can take nothing for granted. It's been such a tough stretch. The more they can get, the better.
And there are a lot of hitters that are thinking this is the kind of day that, hey, maybe it's one of those hitters' days. Let's just keep adding on because we've got a lot of ground to make up.
And a swing and a miss. Got him with a slider down and in, and Nelson finally has his first down of the ball game. So back to the top, and here's Nathan Lucas again. Lucas got all this started with a base hit to right field.
And with all of those hits, nothing's left the yard, but they did have A lot of singles last night.
Down to a knee goes Lucas, swinging at a slow curveball. Not the pitcher really expecting to see that much of from Nelson.
That's the chase we're talking about early in the zone. Maybe opposing pitchers knowing Blue Jays hitters are expanding a little too much. That's a perfect example right there.
Slash to left, a fair ball. Andres Jimenez is in. Okamoto behind him. Straw's getting the wave. And it's a 3-run double for Lucas to make it an 8-0 game.
He was fooled on the first pitch. He was not fooled on the second one. He came back with a curveball again. This one caught the bottom of the zone, and Nathan Lucas was all over it, shooting it the other way. Dan, you mentioned last night that the ball in the left field corner can play games a little bit, and it'll rattle around. It looks like it's just going to sometimes hit and be dead. This one hit the pole and took off on Gurriel and left. That allowed that extra run to score.
And that is going to be it. Here comes Torey Lovullo. The Blue Jays have tied a franchise record with 8 runs in the first inning, and there's still only 1 out. And Joe, boy, did they need this. Again, they still got to get 27 outs. There's a long, long way to go, but what a way to start their Sunday here in the desert.
$4.49.
Big penalty kill. No, we got to get back at him 5-on-5.
All right, Coach. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Well, I guess he saw it the way I saw it. And so to answer your question,
Los Angeles, number 55, 2-minute minor penalty, trip.
Last night with the grand slam. No Geraldo Perdomo today. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. is back in there for the second day in a row. And Kevin Gausman was sitting in that dugout for about 30 minutes after he walked in from the bullpen. But I think he'll take it when they put an 8 spot up on the board.
He will take it, but it is a challenge for a starting pitcher. I'm sure he was down there trying to stay loose, maybe even throwing a few baseballs into a wall, whatever it takes to try to stay in sync. Coming off 5+ innings plus 1 batter against the Brewers. He did give up 3 runs in that ball game, striking out 5.
Ketel Marte will lead it off for the Diamondbacks. 3-time All-Star, off to a bit of a slow start this year, hitting .215, 4 home runs, and just 4 for 25 in his career against Gausman. Keep in mind, Kevin was a Giant for a couple of years, so he would have seen a fair bit, obviously, of the Diamondbacks in those years. Immediately Valenzuela asked for the appeal, but he didn't go, and it's 1-1 on Marte. The DH the last 3 games because of some back tightness, but able to play in the field today. This is lifted to left field. In comes Jesus Sanchez, and he makes the grab. 1 down.
But defensively for the Blue Jays this afternoon, Sanchez right there in left field. Miles Straw gets the start in center with Varsho out for another day. Nathan Lucas, the red hot Nathan Lucas, back out in right field. Okamoto and Jimenez on the left side, Clement and Vladdy on the right side, and Brendan Valenzuela back behind the dish gets the start, catching Gausman this afternoon.
Number 2 hitter is Corbin Carroll. The grand slam last night was the 4th of his career. It looked like Gausman landed a high splitter in the zone there to get out in front 0-1.
Remember, before that last start in Milwaukee, he had used the splitter more than his fastball for the first time in his career. It changed a little bit, went to the fastball a little bit more against the Brewers.
Splitter again, weak contact. Out to Clement, 2 down. Does a big lead this early change the game plan at all if you're Pete Walker, Kevin Gausman, Brandon Valenzuela?
You know, by getting Corbin Carroll right there on a splitter, I don't think it does. Right. He's going to pitch his game because that's what he does best. We saw him in that last start. He used the four-seamer a lot against the Brewers first time through, but then he increased the splitter usage the next time. And then that third time through, when he was trying to power through to get done, he went back to the heater again. He can adapt throughout the course of the lineup in the game.
2 down for 22-year-old rookie Jose Fernandez at first base the last couple of nights. At shortstop today, his natural position, but he has played third, second, and first coming up through the minors. He can play all 4 of them. He has been a very pleasant surprise with the bat in the early going for the Diamondbacks. I mean, here's a guy at Double-A last year, did not make the team out of spring this year, and he's hit cleanup in third in different games in this series. So that's how much they think of him. Gausman tries a slider, but he misses away, ball 2.
See that pitch on occasion from Kevin, trying to get something going the other way against these right-handed batters, just a bit of a different look.
Fastball grounded left side. Jimenez has it, but has no chance to get an out. Fernandez runs well, and that'll be an infield hit.
Good effort by Jimenez at short, but not much you can do. I don't think any throw is getting Fernandez with some pretty good speed. He just had to go a little too far for this one. Fully extended just to glove it, but can't get anything on the throw.
So a 2-out base hit, and here is former Blue Jay Lourdes Gurriel Jr. Just his second game after returning from a torn ACL suffered September 1st of last season. As we mentioned last night, a somewhat remarkably quick comeback. He is here weeks ahead of schedule. So give him credit. Obviously really got after the rehab in the offseason and only wound up missing about 18-19 games as he lines one to left field and caught by a charging Sanchez for the 3rd out.
Well, that first inning may stand out to you as starkly different from what you have seen from the Blue Jays this season. And in terms of results, it sure is. 8 runs in an inning. They had 7 over the last 4 games. But in terms of process, it's actually been quite similar to what we've seen from this team. First of all, they have been hitting fastballs all year. The Blue Jays entered today with MLB's 5th highest batting average against heaters. 6 of their 8 hits in the first inning came off of Ryan Nelson fastballs. But we can even pull back and just look at base hit hits in general. The Blue Jays entered today with a top 10 batting average, a top 10 contact percentage. Twice in the last week, they put up 12 hits in a game while scoring only 2 runs. Getting hits really hasn't been the issue. Sequencing hits together has been. The Blue Jays among the league leaders in left on base percentage, but in that inning, they're able to piece them together, convert some of those base hits into runs scored.
Arden, thank you. So it is 8-0 going to the top of the second. Here is Jesus Sanchez. Yeah, there was a lot of sequencing in that first inning. The first 7 guys got hits. The first 8 reached base. And there's been so much talk, as everybody knows, about how they've struggled with runners in scoring position. Well, they went 5 for 7 with runners in scoring position in that inning, including a 2-run double for Kazu Komodo and a 3-run double for Nathan Lucas. A hot shot down to first, but a nice play made by Vargas as Sanchez is retired.
And they keep getting fastballs. That was the fastball from Hoffman to Sanchez, and he was all over, but hit it right at the first baseman.
One down, and now Eloy Jimenez, who had an RBI single in the first. Got the start last night, went 2 for 4. Hasn't been here all that long. Is 5 for 13 so far as a Blue Jay. The Blue Jays trying to get a look at Eloy Jimenez and Lenyn Sosa. Generally, it's been one or the other in the lineup. Jimenez came up when George Springer went on the IL. Had a chance to speak with George briefly in the clubhouse earlier today and asked him about the toe, and it's still sore, and I guess that shouldn't be a surprise. He fractured his big toe just a handful of days ago. He's never done anything like it before, so he doesn't know what to expect in the coming days. He is doing some light hitting. He has not started running yet. The hope is that he could be ready at the start of the homestand, but I think that is still very much a wait and see thing right now. He did say, as Jimenez draws a walk, and this is a direct quote from George, "I'm trying to force the issue," meaning he is trying to push the training staff, the strength and conditioning staff, whoever he's got to influence. He's trying to convince them that he can get back maybe quicker than they want him back.
And that's the tricky part, right? Because the last thing you want to do is see any setbacks. Get it right, make sure it's right, and be good the rest of the way.
And I think the Blue Jays, and I think most teams are probably like this, especially early in the season. You err on the side of caution a little bit. If you're not sure, give the guy another day, another 2 days, whatever it takes.
It's so hard to remind ourselves, everyone, fans, people that cover the game, that it's a marathon.
Andres Jimenez with a ground ball to second, and the Diamondbacks will turn 2. On to the bottom of the second, still 8-0.
Stanley Cup playoffs on Sportsnet.
Coming up very shortly, the Montreal Canadiens are in Tampa to face the Lightning. It's game 1 of their first round series getting underway at 5:30 Eastern, 2:30 Pacific on Sportsnet. Another warm, beautiful day here in Arizona. Let's take a look at what Kevin Gausman and Dylan Cease have done so far. I think everybody would agree the two of them are off to very, very good starts this season, but the Blue Jays are only 4-4. This is not their individual wins. I'm talking about team wins. The Blue Jays are just 4-4 in those 8 starts, and whether it's been the bullpen not finishing or the offense not delivering enough, you want to win the majority of the games these two start because that's how good they are.
Dylan Cease has to be saying, hey, wait a minute, guys. When we pitch this well, we're supposed to get some wins. Now, I know neither one of these guys necessarily cares about the personal wins, but they know that their team should be winning more games when they've pitched the way they have pitched. Dylan coming off 6 shutout innings, and he has been a lot of fun to watch. A lot of fun to watch in the Blue Jays uniform.
Bottom 2, 8-0 Blue Jays. Catcher Adrian Del Castillo. Actually, I'm sorry, he is DHing today. Del Castillo caught last night. He leads off the inning. Another guy who, because of injuries, Gabby Moreno on the IL, getting more playing time and really contributing. You know, back to that graphic about Cease and Gausman. In Gausman's case, they just have not scored runs for him before today. I'll give you the scores when he has come out of the game in his first 4 starts. In his first one against the A's, he went 6 innings, gave up 1 run. The Blue Jays were leading 2-1 at the time. That was opening day. They won the game, but remember, Langoliers homered in the 9th inning off Hoffman, so it went extra innings. In his second start, when he left the game, they were leading 1-0. In his third start, they were trailing 3-0, and in his fourth start, they were trailing 3-2. So before today, while Gausman was in the game, the Blue Jays had only scored a total of 5 runs.
Close, low-scoring games, and this one his team got out early, so now it's up to him to just put it in cruise control of sorts.
Max Scherzer a good outing last night, 6 innings, 2 runs. And a challenge coming from Brandon Valenzuela.
Catcher is challenging the ball call.
Good that he's not shy to do it.
Yeah. This closer look is brought to you by Specsavers, and
Call is confirmed. Toronto have one more challenge.
1/10 of an inch.
Brandon's got to be saying, hey, wait a minute here. What do I have to do to be right? And I think what happened, too, we saw early in the season, you get one wrong, and then you start saying, okay, maybe you're a little reluctant to do it, especially early. Really different 8-0 ball game.
That one is in there. 1-1 on Ildemaro Vargas at first base today. A 14-game hitting streak this year. It's actually 17 going back to last year, but he's hit in all 14 games in which he's played so far this season. And he's got another hit. Make it an 18-gamer now going back to last season, and the Diamondbacks have the first 2 on.
Well, I certainly see why they like that bat. 34-year-old veteran trying to come inside with that fastball, and you see how it leaked back, and it's only 92 miles per hour from Kevin, and he hits it hard into right field.
Yeah, just something to keep an eye on early. A lot of 90s to 92s for Gausman, who's usually more, let's say, 93 to 95. Here's Nolan Arenado. Arenado hit a home run on Friday night, went 0 for 3 last night, 3 for 18 in his career against Gausman.
That looked like a little get-over splitter just to carry the zone for a strike.
Fouled off 0-2. That one had some wild movement on it. That one, that's not the usual direction for the splitter. Yeah. Pete Walker locked in on his pitcher on the mound as always. 0-2. Fastball away. Better velocity there, 95. And again, I think more than any other pitcher on the staff, Gausman's velocity can fluctuate even within a start, even within an inning by a few miles per hour.
I think he'll mix in the old BP fastball every once in a while just to make it a different look for the hitter.
Fouled off behind Dave McKay, the longtime first base coach.
We saw Kevin in that last start throw a lot of his four-seam fastballs into right-handed batters, and I thought that was a little bit new. I asked him about it. It was more of an approach that he saw from Brewers hitters. Valenzuela inside again.
Weekly hit up the middle. Jimenez to Clement on to first, and they don't get him. Just not quite cleanly turned enough to get Arenado, but they do get the out at second base.
This was a slow developing play. They want a challenge. Thought they had him at first. It was not hit real hard. I think he cued it off the end of his bat, but by the time Jimenez could corral it, it was almost a backwards pass to Clement.
Toronto is challenging safe call at first base.
Crew Chief Alan Porter.
And Ernie just running across the bag, couldn't get tons on the throw.
Ooh.
Close.
The Blue Jay challenge room was 2 for 2 in last night's game. Do they have an early one here today? It is definitely close.
Good stretch by Vladdy. That's what you want to see. Really reach out there. Got the right guy running. Arenado not too fleet of foot. What you see right here is almost got to go backwards, and that's where Ernie just didn't quite get the exchange, but looked like it was just enough in times in the back of the glove.
I think they got him. It does not have, my understanding is it does not actually have to touch any part of the glove. It just has to be within the confines of the glove, if that makes sense. And as long as it is in there, that is enough. And it looked to me like the ball was in there before the foot came down on the bag, but again, it's really close.
I thought he was out in real time, and I still think he's out.
They're having a good long look at this one in New York. Ernie stumbled a little bit on his way to second. That complicated the play as well. So he had to kind of, it was like taking a pitch in football. He had to look behind him and then gather and hop and make a throw. So that made things a little trickier for him.
Good stretch, Vladdy. Really reaching out. That's what a first baseman has to do right there.
I think he's out.
I think he is too. I thought he was in real time. Jimenez was ranging to his left, Ernie to his right. It was almost like a backward pitch.
Yeah.
He was getting it from the side.
Here we go.
After review, the call on the field stands. Runner is safe. Toronto will lose their challenge.
I still think it was worth a challenge. I think they had a good chance at that one and probably should have gotten it.
I think they should have gotten it too. I mean, we saw enough times there that not a huge call in a game that's 8-0, but
well, you don't want to let them up off the mat, right?
And lose the challenge.
Yeah. So again, that challenge is separate from ABS challenges. So the Blue Jays have lost their challenge, and they've lost one of their 2 ABS challenges. First and third, 1 out for James McCann, the catcher. Swings over the top of a split, and it's 0-1. 14-year veteran. Del Castillo at third, Arenado at first, 1 out. Good double play candidate if Gausman can get a ground ball. 0-2.
Kevin's more of a fly ball pitcher, but he was getting some ground balls his first couple of starts, not so much in his last couple. I think he's getting back to being more who he is, more of a fly ball pitcher, strikeout pitcher. It makes sense with the splitter that you can get a lot of ground balls. It's a pitch that's going down. Hitters catch the top of the ball.
0-2. And tried another one, bounced it in. Ball 1. Looked like Gausman was maybe acknowledging Valenzuela there for blocking that pitch. Got a runner at third.
If any pitcher wants a catcher blocking baseballs, it's Kev, right? When he's got that splitter, you can't be hesitant burying that thing in the dirt.
Fastball, and it's going to drop in left field for a base hit. And that will bring in the first run of the day for the Diamondbacks. An RBI single for McCann, cashes in Del Castillo, and it's 8-1.
Well, after the splitters, he does come back with a fastball, but it catches enough plate where James McCann, it's just on the inside part, but he gets to it easily, and that could be part of the factor being that velocity. Doesn't have his best fastball yet here early this afternoon.
Now first and second, 1 out for the number 9 hitter Alec Thomas, the center fielder. Had a good game last night. 2 for 3 with a double and a single. That single came in the 8th inning. A couple of spots before the Corbin Carroll grand slam. Not a lot of offense so far this year, as you can see from Thomas, who again is much better known for his defense than his bat. Bounces it up the middle. Jimenez steps on second and fires to first for the double play. So the Diamondbacks get one, but Andres Jimenez makes sure they don't get any more than that. Good work up the middle of the infield. At the end of 2, the Blue Jays lead the Diamondbacks 8-1.
Community.
There are home runs. Well, there have been many iconic home runs hit in the 50 seasons of Blue Jays baseball, and now is your chance to have 5 of them all on one T-shirt. On May 11th, the first 15,000 fans will receive a Blue Jays Legendary Home Runs T-shirt presented by Ryobi. Learn more at BlueJays.com. All 5 of those commemorating big moments in the postseason, including, of course, Joe Carter's home run back in 1993. Jose Bautista was there. Edwin Encarnacion, the wild card winner. George Springer, Game 7 of the ALCS. And then Vladdy's, we understand, commemorates the Grand Slam in the second game of the division series against the Yankees a year ago. I mean, he did hit 8 of them last October. So
take your pick.
Yeah, there's a few to choose from. Kaz Okamoto had a 2-run double in the first, part of that huge 8-run first inning. And he lifts a fly ball to left. This has got some carry. This is going to go. Number 3 on the season for Okamoto, and it is 9-1.
And more importantly, Dan, it looked like a slider down in the zone for a breaking ball that he hits out of the ballpark. And we have seen this pitch give him all kinds of trouble. But this one was in his zone, and he gets the barrel to it. Good to see from Okamoto.
Not only making contact, making authoritative contact here today. That is his first home run since March 30th, the first game of the Colorado series, the 4th game of the season for the Blue Jays.
And this is what John Schneider's been talking about with the lineup struggles early in the count, getting a pitch that you can handle to do damage. That's the definition of it right there. The slider that stayed on the plate at the bottom of the zone. Certainly see the power in that bat, in that swing. Now it's a matter of covering both the fastball and the breaking ball, but more importantly, bringing pitchers into your zone instead of you going into their zones.
A couple of strikes on Miles Straw, who walked and scored in the first. Miles has been taking some good-natured ribbing from his teammates about playing as much as he is right now, hitting as much as he is right now, and it's all in good fun. Believe us when we tell you, Miles can dish it out as well as he can take it. As that is strike 3 called, and now Straw is challenging. Remember, the Blue Jays have already lost one.
Strike call.
This is early to use your second, and it is a strike by the narrowest of margins.
Toronto don't have more challenge.
So you hope it doesn't get important later on, given what the margin is right now. But the Blue Jays have lost their regular challenge and both of their ABS challenges.
Did you see that exhale from the manager? I think we know what he's thinking.
Not
right
happy.
Now. You're not happy. No, you can't be out of challenges in the 3rd inning. Now it's a 9-1 ball game, but you just never know. And you want to make sure you have one in the latter stages of any ball game.
I think it was Andres Jimenez a few days ago. Similar situation. Early in the game, had already lost one of their challenges.
And we talked about it with John Schneider.
Yes.
And he made that point. And it's an obvious point.
They have had conversations about it internally. And, you know, maybe all teams are kind of in the same boat. Maybe just the moment gets you and you're a hitter and you say, there's no way that wasn't a strike. And then if you're wrong, you're out of challenges. But again, the leverage not very high in this situation, given the margin right now and nobody on base. It's a little bit different if you got a couple of men in scoring position or something.
And I can certainly see that emotion from a hitter when you get rung up strike 3 to immediately say, no, it wasn't, and tap your head. And maybe right after you tap your head, you go, oh, no, I shouldn't have done that.
You saw Brandon Pfaadt up in the bullpen. He was a starter until recently. Merrill Kelly came off the IL, so Pfaadt has moved into that 6th starter long man role right now in the Diamondbacks pen.
And I'm sure Torey Lovella will stretch him out good today to save this bullpen on a day his starter could not get out of the 1st.
And now a challenge coming from James McCann.
Looked good, didn't it?
Is challenging the ball call.
This closer look is brought to you by Specsavers. And that's a strike.
Post overturned.
So Valenzuela is out.
Barry's out.
James McCann with a successful challenge, and the Diamondbacks still have both of theirs.
Right field, Nathan Lucas.
Back-to-back strikeouts for Hoffman after the home run by Okamoto, and now here's Nathan Lucas, who has already singled and doubled. And all of a sudden, and you accurately used the term the red-hot Nathan Lucas a little while ago. Lucas, who couldn't buy a hit earlier, is now 6 for his last 8. Chased it there, and it's 0-2.
Well, it's baby steps, but it has to feel very good for Nathan to get back on track like this and start feeling like who he is as a hitter again.
And now maybe a pitch com issue. Roberto Ortiz is the home plate umpire, and he is calling someone out from the dugout. The Diamondbacks sitting at 13-8, looking up at both the Dodgers and the Padres in the National League West. 3 teams playing very well in the early going in that division.
And for the Padres in Arizona, you know, they're used to chasing the Dodgers. It'll be like that for 6 months. But if the Dodgers do win yet another division, you're fighting for that wild card.
There, just having spoken to people over the last 3 days, there might have been more people in this town rooting for the Blue Jays against the Dodgers in the World Series than just about anywhere else. They do not like the Dodgers one bit here in Phoenix. Swing and a miss by Lucas. Or did he get a no? He got a piece of it. My mistake. Got a piece of it. You could probably say the same, I would guess, in San Diego and San Francisco, that there were all of a sudden there were a ton of Blue Jay fans in October in those towns as well.
You probably say that about a lot of cities.
Yeah.
We heard it in Milwaukee, but I think you're right. We've heard it a little more here in Phoenix.
They do not like the Dodgers one bit here.
last postseason was in 23, and it went pretty well, unfortunately losing that World Series to the Rangers.
And Lucas has yet another hit. He hooks it into the right field corner. On his way to second, he'll stop there with his third hit and second extra base hit of the ball game.
It is safe to say that Nathan Lucas is seeing the ball well right now. This is a changeup down in the zone, but he gets down there and hooks it into that right field corner.
He's got hits in 5 consecutive at-bats now. And it's the first time in his career he's had back-to-back 3-hit games, and Torey Lovullo was on his way out, and that is going to be all for Andrew Hoffman. As the until recently starter Brandon Pfaadt will be coming in for some long.
TV Plus. Stream more every month with City TV Plus. Start your free trial today.
Well, moments ago, Nathan Lucas during the pitching change coming over and talking shop with George Springer, who couldn't be happier for him. Nathan Lucas appears to be all the way back. He's 7 for his last 9 all of a sudden. He's out at second with 2 outs in this 9-1 Blue Jay lead. And here's Brandon Pfaadt. Again, he has been moved from the rotation to the bullpen with Merrill Kelly coming off the IL. Pfaadt has been a starter for all but 1 appearance in his 3+ year major league career before today. This is just his 2nd ever relief appearance. Bounced foul by Ernie Clement, and it's 1-1.
And he has all kinds of pitches, but mainly that sinker and sweeper against these right-handed batters who use the curveball and cutter, change up a little bit more to lefties. Similar profile from a lot of right-handed pitchers.
And Ernie couldn't stop the swing on that fastball up and in. It's 1-2.
This is maybe where Ernie's thinking sweeper. He's waiting for a little bit of a break and just kept running up and in there.
And then Pfaadt comes back with the sweeper down and away, but Clement picked it up early. Reaches for it and pops it up back of first. Vargas has it just in foul territory for the 3rd out. The Blue Jays, though, do add a run. Kazuma Okamoto with his 3rd home run of the season. And going to the bottom of the 3rd, it's now 9-1 Blue Jays. McDavid's quest for the Cup begins again this postseason. It continues. Tune in tomorrow night for Game 1 between the Oilers and the Ducks. Coverage gets underway at 10:20 Eastern, 8:20 Mountain. Here at Chase Field in Phoenix, Dan Schulman, Joe Siddall, Arden Zwelling, 9-1 Blue Jays. They got 8 in the first. Bottom 3 and top of the order, Ketel Marte leading it off against Kevin Gausman. Marte hit a lazy fly ball to left in his first at bat. Marte and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. are very close, and that is because Marte is married to a cousin of Guerrero's. And Vladdy told me this morning he has known Ketel Marte since he was a little kid. And then he reached into his locker and he showed me a Marte jersey. They did like a private jersey swap, each autographed for the other. And so Guerrero proudly displaying the Marte jersey. Ketel Marte has a Guerrero in his locker. Line drive right field, and whoa, a leaping catch by Nathan Lucas. They say the hardest one is the one hit right at you. And Nathan Lucas, who's a very good outfielder, is saying wow to Miles Straw right now.
Well, these Diamondbacks hitters are getting to the fastball from Gausman. This one hit very hard off the bat of Marte. The velocity is certainly down from Kevin today. We'll keep an eye on that as he is not getting the swing and miss we're accustomed to seeing.
He's been as high as 95, but there have also been a lot of 90s and 91s from Gausman. Here's Corbin Carroll. Does his delivery, does he look normal to you as he's pitching?
You know, when you see a pitcher that's not feeling well, we've heard about this flu bug and all. I wouldn't say he pitches with a lot of energy anyway, but he doesn't look like he has a lot of that in his delivery. When you normally see him letting go of his fastball, it's got a little bit more of a giddy up to it, a little bit more explosiveness. Today it looks like it's just laying in there.
Could the score have something to do with it?
I don't think so. I don't think you just change the way you pitch.
Swing and a miss. So back-to-back swings and a misses on a 91 and a 92. Carroll with a ground ball to second his first time up. And Gausman gets him. Just stays with the fastball and he strikes Carroll out. That's his first strikeout of the ballgame.
Well, there's some swing and miss, and I'm sure Carroll's thinking that splitter down and the fastball's just by him. A little bit of a high target, whether Valenzuela wanted it up there or not. He didn't get it up there. He threw it down, but it worked.
Strikeouts are brought to you by Subway. Buy 1 foot long, get one free with no delivery fee. Offer ends April 26th. Use the code to save on this Subway digital exclusive. 2 down in the inning, and here's Jose Fernandez, who had an infield hit in his first at bat. Popped up. Guerrero and Clement both in the vicinity. Vladdy will take it, and Gausman gets the top of the order in the bottom of the third. Fans, you could win life-changing money while making a real difference in your community. Your 50/50 purchase supports life-changing baseball programming for kids across Alberta, New Brunswick, Ontario, and Nova Scotia. It's the ultimate win-win. Show your support and join in today at bluejays.com/50/50. Again, a lot of Blue Jays fans here. I have some friends who live here and went to visit them in the seats before the game, and they were like, where are all these Blue Jay fans from? Is it family? And I said, well, like maybe a few dozen, but there's thousands here. And they said, do they live here? And I said, it's probably a mix of living here, but a ton of people coming down from BC and Alberta and Saskatchewan. And
great weekend vacay.
Yeah. Guerrero hits it off the end of the bat to shallow right field, and that's going to get down for a base hit. Guerrero's second knock of the day. He has not hit either one hard, but he will take it. 2 for 3 so far.
Like a fastball trying to go away, and they got it out there. And yes, he just cued it off the end of the bat, but dropped it in there. Little lob wedge beautifully.
Leadoff single, the 11th hit of the game now for the Blue Jays. And here's Jesus Sanchez, who's 1 for 2. Did a base hit in the first and then lined out in the second. I enjoy watching him hit. There's a lot going on here between pitches.
Just watch him.
Yeah.
Just watch him.
Shaking his head a little bit as he took it outside, bouncing around a little like he's never just still.
Trying to relax the body.
2 balls and a strike.
It's almost like he's looking at somebody in the Diamondbacks dugout, having fun with them.
Chase that one. Change up down and away in a good spot from Fott.
Seen teams doing the fastball up and in, and off speed down and away. It looks like McCann maybe wants it up and in again unless he's decoying.
Fastball high, 3-2. Guerrero the lead. And the 3-2. Out of play, left side. He's having the best time.
His base hit in the first inning to left center was a fastball a little more down in the zone. I think they're trying to elevate it, keep it up there, but sometimes they miss their spots. That's when you have to get them.
Stays alive. He has shown a pretty good ability with 2 strikes on him to foul off pitches and extend the at-bats. He's not really a wild free swinger. He might not always win the at-bat, but we've seen him do this quite a bit.
Yeah, and I think especially those off-speed pitches down there like that, we know that he sinks into his legs a little bit. That's why I think he handles that ball down even better.
3-2 again. And he works him for a walk. Well done by Jesus Sanchez. That'll push Guerrero to second. Now Eloy Jimenez had an RBI single in the first and walked in the second. Kind of tough, I would think. You've been a starting pitcher your whole career, and now you come in as a reliever. And you know you're a long reliever if you're the starter who's been moved to the bullpen, but you come in when your team is down by this number of runs. I mean, everybody's part of a team, and you got to do what you got to do. But I would think the adrenaline's a little bit different for Brandon Fott here than it typically is.
And in the minors too, he was a starter the whole way. So it's a lot of starting to just get there and Pitchers have to do that when they get to the big league sometimes.
That will get off the glove of McCann, and both runners will advance.
Looked like he really yanked that slider into the left-handed batter's box.
And it is indeed a wild pitch on Fott. So second and third, nobody out, infield back. The Diamondbacks will concede a run on a ground ball. And these are the little things that sometimes aren't the little things. If they're giving you one, go get it.
Yeah. And that's where, if you're Eloy Jimenez right now, just thinking about the middle of the field here, he knows a ground ball past the pitcher is definitely going to cash in one run. But you don't want to get out front, roll something over. You'd rather use the big part of the ballpark.
1-2 the count. And strike three called. A fastball over the outer part of the plate for out number one.
Well, he may have just frozen, maybe caught him right there by that great location. Pitch may have come back a bit to catch the outside corner. Looked like he may have given up on it. Comes back and catches the edge.
So one out. The infield is still back, and here's Andres Jimenez, 1 for 2. Jimenez a much different style of hitter, obviously, than Eloy Jimenez is. So you would think it would be foremost in the mind of Andres Jimenez to at least get one run home here by making some contact. Fouled off, 1-1.
So many of the left-handed batters in the Blue Jays lineup, it feels to me this year, have been pitched similarly, whether it's Sanchez and Jimenez and Varsho and Lucas. A lot of fastballs up and in, and then soft down and away.
Line to right field. Guerrero goes back to tag. Here he comes. Here comes the throw, and it's not in time. And Jimenez with a sac fly to make it 10-1.
Well, you said it, Dan. Anytime you can keep adding on, that's a good thing, obviously, for Jimenez personally, but a good thing for this team. And Vladdy cashing it in by tagging from third base against the arm of Corbin Carroll. It's a breaking pitch down in the zone. He stays right down on it to get it up in the air. Good piece of hitting, good base running by Vladdy, cashing the run in.
And that'll tie a season high in runs for the Blue Jays with 10. Their win over Minnesota back on April the 10th was by a score of 10-4. 2 down, and here's Okamoto, and he's responsible for a lot of the offense today. A 2-run double in the first and a solo homer in the third. One ball, one strike. Thought about it, but checked the swing and takes a close pitch low for ball 2.
Good take, though, right? This is, again, early in the count. Consider the first 2-3 pitches of an at-bat early in the count. You want to hit your pitch. That's a pitcher's pitch.
Three and one.
Now, if he can be disciplined enough to be middle in, we know that he handles the ball middle in better, I think. If it's out on the outer half, let it go.
Not close. Ball 4.
Catch every pitch with Canada's most reliable 5G Plus network and best 5G Plus network. Rogers, we got you.
A huge first inning for the Blue Jays, tying a franchise record with 8 runs. They enjoy a 10-1 lead right now, top of the 4th. 2 on, 2 out. John Schneider loving what he is seeing so far this afternoon. Here's Miles Straw, who has walked and scored and also struck out. Grounds it out to short. The flip to second in time to retire the side. Blue Jays get one and take a 9-run lead to the bottom of the 4th.
Nothing tastes better. Now in free preview.
Fans, join us April 26th for another Junior Jays Sunday presented by Ontario Honda Dealers. Interactive games, artists, live performers, prizes, and don't forget, kids can run the bases after the game as well. Visit BlueJays.com/promotions to get your tickets. As always, some Junior Jays watching the game, even as far away from Toronto as this. That's a Diamondbacks fan. You can see that's the City Connect jersey. That's funny. Kids in baseball games are fun together. Remember the kid last night eating the popcorn like they were going to steal it away from him if he didn't finish it?
Put his whole mouth in it.
Yeah.
That's a day at the ballpark, all right.
Lourdes Gurriel Jr. leading it off. Takes it low, a ball and a strike. There you go.
Oh, my.
I mean, that's going to take 3 innings. That's going to take a while.
Is that like a yogurt parfait with the ice, crunchy nuts around the edge? Like, is that any good?
That's
Some
good.
butterscotch in there, maybe? That would take me 3 innings.
That would take a while, but it would be well worth it. Gausman threw 3, 1 run on 3 hits, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. Upstairs as he falls behind 3-1. Now full, and again, you don't want to make too much out of velocity on its own, but he's down 2.5 miles per hour from his season average. That's more than
there's something up. It's one thing when you dial down on a pitch on occasion, but you don't just pitch like this at this velocity, diminished velocity, because you're up a lot of runs. You still have to pitch your game. What he's doing is he's battling with what he has.
Yeah. Ground ball up the middle, backhanded by Clement, and they still get him at first. And Ernie even had a little juggle before he let it go, but still in time to get Gurriel, who, remember, is coming off a torn ACL and is not the fleetest guy to begin with. Might have just heard something from Vladdy on the way by.
Well, looks like Ernie's having a tough time getting a clean handle on the baseball today. He finally does get it, knowing his runner, but it looks like he gets it there to Vladdy with the big stretch just in time.
Second big stretch we've seen from Guerrero in this game. And undoubtedly some playful words from Guerrero to Gurriel after that play. Here's Adrian Del Castillo, the DH this afternoon. He has walked and scored the Diamondbacks' lone run. In on his hands, but this could drop, and it will, in right center. Boy, he got jammed, but he just found the right spot in the outfield for a base hit.
Looked like they're trying to go up a little bit. It wasn't quite as high as Valenzuela wanted it, but it still got it in there. Not hit hard at all.
A one-out single here in the bottom of the fourth, and that'll bring up Ildemaro Vargas, who has already extended his hitting streak to an 18-gamer with a base hit today. I am told, by the way, the color the Diamondbacks are wearing today is their official color. It is Sedona red. Sedona, a couple of hours north of here, and the rocks are this shade or close to this shade of red, and it's something that everybody in the state of Arizona very fond of, take a lot of pride in. So this is I don't know if this is their, I don't think this is their regular home. This might be their Sunday home jersey, but there
you go.
This is Sedona red.
Beautiful.
1-2, up to 94 on that fastball. And a strikeout for Gausman, his second of the afternoon.
Well, we talked in the open about Gausman, and of course he's the guy you want on the mound when you need a win, but first couple starts of the season, he was really dominating hitter, striking out a lot of guys. The last two, not so much, but he's battles his tail off with what he has. He keeps his team in the ballgame. Not necessarily the case here because they scored so many runs early, but this is what he does.
2 down for Nolan Arenado, who lays off a splitter, ball 1. Popped up in foul territory, and it looks like it's playable. It'll be Guerrero calling off Valenzuela for the third out, and Valenzuela is starting to learn early. You got to be playful when Guerrero's around. Vicinity, and he also has priority over the catcher on a ball like this, but Valenzuela thinks it's his. Guerrero says it's his, and a little playful shove to his new teammate. And Valenzuela, who, as we've talked about, he's outgoing and confident, and playfully kind of took off his mitt like he was going to throw it at Guerrero. So I think Valenzuela's kind of learning the rules of the Guerrero game here early in his big league career.
It's another way of seeing how these Blue Jays players have welcomed in another young player with the injury to Alejandro Kirk. Valenzuela's been brought up to the big leagues and thrust into a pretty big role, getting some significant playing time here.
And we've got a change here in the top of the 5th inning. I know it's 10-1, but this is pretty early. Makes you wonder if something might be going on with Corbin Carroll, who has been dealing with a minor hip issue. So Jorge Barrosa, who started the first 2 games, is in right field right now. So maybe just Torey Lovullo saying, you know what, he's not quite 100% healthy, may as well get him out of there. I don't think the Blue Jays are glad to see Carroll out of the game, and Valenzuela is in some pain right now.
Well, he did have a bit of an awkward swing on his last strikeout. Now, I don't know if that was because it was such a good pitch from Kevin Gausman or maybe feeling something, but I'm sure at 10-1, this team, the Diamondbacks, have been rolling pretty good. Get him off the turf for a few innings here.
That right foot still stinging for Valenzuela. And James McCann is challenging.
Catcher is challenging the ball call.
He's already 1 for 1. He's 2 for 2. Boy, all of these have been by the narrowest of margins.
Call is overturned. Arizona have 2 more challenge.
McCann's been doing it a long time. You think he has a pretty good idea of the edge there, and he was right that time.
That'll get through into center field. Valenzuela with his first hit of the ball game.
Good short swing with 2 strikes. He's been pitched tough. He's had a lot of borderline pitches, but he keeps it very simple. Not a big move.
And even there, when he got to first base, what they typically do after a single is they kind of point with both hands to second base, like, I want to keep going this way. And he, with a smile on his face, it's been a while since he had his last hit, and it kind of looked like he was looking and saying, is this what I'm supposed to do, guys? So he is not a shy, quiet kid in that clubhouse. Am I supposed to do
Is
that?
that right?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Is that right?
Yeah. Is that it? That's what it was the last time I
Yeah.
got one. It's good that he can have fun with it with his teammates.
Nathan Lucas is having some fun here today. 3 for 3 already, including 2 doubles. And now 7 for 9 in this series.
Nathan likes Arizona.
He lives here.
He likes being home.
We talked about it, how you get home on Friday, and he talked about it on Saturday. Get a couple of nights in your own bed. That doesn't happen very often for a big leaguer.
Can't stay though, Nathan.
No.
Got to go with the team.
Got to go to Anaheim. They need you. A one-hopper to short, and that will be a double play. Jose Fernandez will make it, so it's 6-3 to turn 2.
Like he cued this just a little bit off the end of his bat. It was a changeup down. He hit it very hard. Fernandez does it himself. Strong arm.
We've seen a lot of tools from this guy.
Yes.
He's a good hitter. He runs hard down the line. Got a good arm. 2 down, and the base is empty for Ernie Clement, who is 1 for 3. Doubled and scored way back in the first. Chased it, and it's 0-2. Brandon Pfaadt working some long relief here this afternoon for the Diamondbacks, who will stay home and have a day off tomorrow. They've got the White Sox in for 3, and then they're going to Mexico City to play 2 games. They're considered Diamondbacks home games against San Diego. Clement hits it towards the left field corner, and it is beyond the reach of Gurriel. A great effort by Lourdes Gurriel Jr., but he can't get it, and it is a ground rule double for Ernie Clement. Yet another double for Ernie.
Well, Pfaadt went back to the sweeper, and it was caught a lot of plate. You can see this hanging out over. Ernie is out front because I think he's always trying to be on time for that fastball, but on time in a good way. Catching that barrel just past the outstretched Gurriel.
How about 9 doubles now on the season for Clement, and he's at second with 2 down for Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Reaches for it and hits a ground ball to short. And that'll be that. It is 10-1 Blue Jays going to the bottom of the 5th, and we'll send you back to the studio for an update with Jamie Campbell.
Thank you, Dan. Here's the in-game tracker brought to you by Bet365. The Yankees are at it again. Aaron Judge high and deep to center field. He has 9 home runs this year, so he's doing what he's paid to do. You know who's on fire right now? Ben Rice, who also hit one, 4 straight for Rice. And then 30 seconds ago, Trent Grisham hits one out. So the score now for the Yankees, 7-0 in the bottom of the 5th. This one was delayed because there was some inclement weather in New York. This is a base hit up the middle by Bogarts against Walbert Urena. Starting for the Angels, Reed Detmers has been pushed back to tomorrow against the Blue Jays. Padres with a 1-0 lead on Los Angeles in the 5th. That's the in-game tracker brought to you by Bet365, home of the 5-run early payout. Download the app today.
Fans Barbie Day is back again on May 9th. The first 15,000 fans of the Rogers Center will receive a reversible Barbie bucket hat to complete their pink look. Celebrate all things Barbie with themed music, performers, and activities throughout the park. Grab your tickets now at bluejays.com/promotions. Now that is, he can pull that off. I could not pull that off. I could not pull that off either.
What would you clip it to?
Yeah, I got nothing. I would need some tape or some glue or...
A lot of different looks here today.
It is 10-1 Blue Jays going bottom 5. 8-9-1 coming up for the Diamondbacks, beginning with the catcher James McCann. Kevin Gausman on the mound for the Blue Jays today, making his 5th start of the season. McCann has driven in the only Diamondbacks run with an RBI single in the 2nd. Fastball got